welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Olivia or Liv, and I'm a bookworm. So for today's video, we are doing the Reading Habits book tag. So nobody tagged me in this, I just wanted to do it, so you're welcome. So earlier today, I watched a few other people do this challenge on BookTube, and I don't know who the original creator of this was, so it's not mine. Credits to whoever created it. So let's get into the video. So the first question in the Reading Habits book tag is, do you have a certain place where you read? I wouldn't say that I do. I have a rocking chair that I'm supposed to read in, but I don't read in it, for reasons that I don't know. So most of the time I usually just read on my bed or maybe on the couch downstairs. It really depends, because sometimes I read outside, so I really don't have a certain place, but I want to have a certain place, and so I'm planning on starting to read in my rocking chair in the corner of my room a bit more. No, I don't have a certain place where I read. Question is a bookmark or a random piece of paper. So I have a tendency to lose my bookmarks. And by that I mean I don't know where any of my bookmarks are. They could be on the floor, or like they could be in 100 different books that I have not read. So it makes kind of zero sense. So really, if I'm just in a rush, I will usually just get a piece of, I'll rip off a piece of paper and use it as a bookmark, even though I shouldn't. And I'm going to try to start making my own bookmarks for my books, even though I'm really bad at it. But I have little magnet bookmarks that I use. They're Harry Potter themed, and so I try to use those ones, but most of the time it's just a random piece of paper shoved in a book. Or a receipt. I know in City of Bones there's a receipt in there still. Question number 3. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? So usually I try to go to the upcoming chapter and stop there, but if I'm about to go to bed and I have to go to bed at this certain time, then I will just shove my bookmark in the book, whether I be in the middle of the chapter or just started one. And it annoys me when I do that, because then I don't know, especially if I've just started a chapter, because then I don't remember what happened right before I went to sleep. So that's not the best, but usually I try to stop after chapters, but I know I'm not very good at that. Question number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? The answer to that question is no, I do not. I mean, sometimes I'll have a tea with me, but I'm not great at multitasking, so I can't be drinking and reading at the same time. But and no, I would not eat while reading. I mean, I try to avoid it, even though I do it sometimes, because then crumbs get inside the book, in the spine of the book, and it's so annoying trying to dump it out. So I usually don't read and eat at the same time, or read and drink at the same time. So yeah. Number 5, multitasking, TV or music while reading. I cannot, like I said before, I cannot multitask. I'm not good at it. So I don't usually listen to music or watch TV while I'm reading, because it distracts me. Even a twig breaking while I'm reading would distract me. I get distracted very easily, which is really annoying sometimes. But when I'm reading, I usually complete silence, or sometimes if it's a really good book, I can focus on it with something in the background. But that's only if I'm really, really into it. So maybe in class, if there's, not that I would be reading in class, no, definitely not, especially since school is canceled. Yay. But if there's a little bit of chatter in the background, I can sometimes handle it. Most of the time I just complete silence. Question number 6. One book at a time or several books at once? So if you guys watched my last video, I had 6 books that I was reading during the entire day, and so I went throughout them and read sections of them, and so currently I'm reading 6 books at the same time, which is not a good thing. Not a good thing. I finished one yesterday. I finished Homeless Bird by Gloria Llewellyn. I had to read it for an assignment at school, but I really liked the book. Sidetracked. See, I get distracted so easily. But like I said, I would prefer to read one book at a time because then I tend to get two different books mixed up and think that this happened in this book and this happened in this book. So I would prefer to read one at a time, and I usually focus on one at a time, but just know that I'm reading like 5 others in the background and have only gotten like 50 pages into each one. Question number 7, reading at home or everywhere? So it really depends if I'm really into the book. If, like, for Harry Potter probably and Percy Jackson, I would take those books like in the car and I would read in the car. Or like, I know for Dead Beautiful, we were on our way to Six Flags and I think I finished the book on the way there. It was a 2-hour drive, so I usually read at home, but if like, I'll take it in the car sometimes with me. So I'd probably say at home because I rarely ever take it anywhere else but my house. Or, I read at the bookstore. Bookstores are nice. I love bookstores. Question 8, reading out loud or silently in your head? So it really depends for me. Sometimes I'll read out loud and sometimes I'll read out loud, but when I read out loud I tend to get distracted from actually reading the book and I'm just like reading out lines. So I don't usually read out loud unless like I really want to. So most of the time it's usually just like a little whisper. But most of the time it's just silently in my head. Question number 9. Do you read ahead or skip pages? I have this really bad habit of when I get to a good part in a book, I will skip paragraphs until I see like a conversation about what's going on. And I really hate it when I do that because then I spoil everything for me. Like, I remember I was reading Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer, which is the first book in the Magnus Chase series, and I was reading it, and then I get to this one part, and I know, it's like when Magnus is like at his funeral, I believe. I read this book like last summer. But he's at his own funeral and he's like staring at his body, and then Annabeth comes in and like finds him that he's alive. And so at that part I was so anxious to see what was going to happen. I skipped to the very end of the chapter, and so I spoiled the entire thing for myself and got so excited about it because Annabeth was back in here, and then I just freaked out. Ow. And like, I think I was reading in the car, I think, and my cousin Abby was with me, and she's a few years younger than I am. And I remember I was reading that part and I got so excited, I like squealed, and like, I was like, and Abby's like, what the heck? So I have a very bad habit of skipping pages, and I really wish I didn't do it. Question 10, breaking spine or keeping it like new? So as much as I hate broken spines with like all the cracks and the covers, especially in paperbacks, Mark of Athena, can you see all those lines? I hate it so much, but I can't stop myself from doing it. And like, I try not to, but then the book like closes on me when I'm reading it, and so as much as I hate broken spines, most of the time, most of the books on my bookshelf look like they're old. Like, look at these. That looks, oh, this is disgusting, I hate it. But in those like really good books, like that have the really good spines, even if they're paperbacks, like Dead Beautiful, like I read this and there isn't one single crack here. Nothing. So I love books that stay like this, but most of my books do not. Question 11, and the last question for today. Do you write in your books? So a lot of my friends actually annotate their books as they're reading them, and I've never annotated a book. I feel like I should start doing it to like maybe highlight my favorite parts and like write down what was going through my head at the time while I'm rereading books, and so I'd like to do that, but I don't do it right now. And I know a lot of my friends do it, but I just do not. I've never written in my books. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine when people write in their books, because I'm like, why would you want to write in your book? Even though a lot of my friends do it and I want to do it, it kind of irritates me. Because like especially with like when people dog-ear their pages, that has nothing to do with this question, but you know, when people dog-ear their pages, that is so triggering to me. It's so triggering because like people then they like bend their pages, and then like, why would you bend your pages on purpose? Don't you want them to look nice? I just don't understand some people. That is it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. It really means a lot to me. If you want to see me do more tags, also leave a like, because then that lets me know that you like this type of content, and then I can make more of it. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at @LiveTheBookworm. I post daily and answer to DMs and comments frequently. Make sure you click the red subscribe button and click the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Until next time, guys, keep reading, keep creating, and don't forget to be yourself. Bye, guys!